Hello everybody, it's been a while, but hopefully I will be back a bit more often from now on. And I thought, so I've been a bit in a mood to program Rust last few months, and I've been looking into a library, a crate to do uh, graphical user interfaces. We did some stuff with Bevy. Um, few like in the last few videos, but I think that I want to take a look at egui, which is not a fully fledged game engine, but you can do some really cool stuff with that. So let's try to get started. Let's go ahead, and today I just want to make a really simple application that can view some kind of image and maybe do some processing on it. So let's call it egui image viewer. And let's go in here, and we're gonna add some dependencies, of course, egui, and we're gonna use the image crate to load things. And I think that's maybe all we need for now. So I already have cloned the egui repository, and we can use that to look at some examples. So let's maybe just get a basic window working first. So let's go to external egui, and here we should have some examples. And I want to show some images, but I kind of want to do it in a little bit of a different way than I think they did in this example, but it doesn't mean we can't use it to get started. So let's do this. That means we also need to add iframe, because egui is just, as I understand, some kind of abstract way of building UIs, and iframe is actually for building native things, possibly also web. Anyway, let's try to get this going. So we start with some options, and we run something native, and they also have an image viewer app here. It's gonna be just an app, and we also need egui extras. Seems. So we can do that, and maybe now I lost it. External egui was an examples images. This one. Right. So let's do this, and apparently it's common to just turn sort like this. All right. So the trait bound iframe app is not satisfied, so we need to implement this thing, this trait, and it needs an update function. And what does that have? It has like a bunch of arguments. Now we can even get rid of that, and that should perhaps do it. Let's try to run it. All right, so it finished, and we have here some application that's sized kind of like strangely, but because I just copied some stuff from here. So let's change that to something more same, like just make it square for now. Okay, so what can we do here? I think we can, isn't there like, Or do we need frame? Okay, so I don't remember exactly how it works, so let's go here. Okay, so we start by saying that we want some kind of panel, and we show it. And now we can say things like, hello world. Let's try to run it again. For some reason it takes a while to start up. But here it is, and we have the text hello world, albeit a little bit small. All right, so now let's add a button that loads an image, but we also need an image. And what I think I would like to do, if we get to it, is to implement some processing of the image that's called a Sopel operator. So you can see here, this is the input image and this is the output image. So I had to make a bit of a cut there, sorry about that, but I downloaded it and now we have it in images in the assets folder, and I called it valve. So let's try to load that. And we probably want it here. So we want to use the image crate, and it has something called a dynamic image. Right. And probably let's make it an option, because we don't have it in the beginning. And we need also an image loader. So does it have some kind of description about how to do that? It doesn't look like it. But let's first of all make a button. So we just say, this is one of the things I like about egui. It's like immediate mode UI. So we can just say, let's now put a button, and we will make the text be load button. And if it's clicked, that's a Boolean. So if it's clicked, we are going to load the image. So what we're going to do is we're going to say self image is something, but let's first actually like see if we can load it. So I think there's image loaders. No. Load. So we do have load. That sounds promising. Or is it image reader? Is it something with a reader? I forget. So we do have an image reader. Actually, I think there is an example inside of egui. So if I go here and well, let's do this, and let's say external. Let's say external GUI, and let's grep for image reader. That's not it. And I think it was not here. Demo app. Okay, let's try just this. So we have something here, which I feel like it was maybe this example. Okay, let me go ahead and find that. All right, so I found it. And what we need is something like this. So this should be the image crate. So if we go ahead and we say image IO reader. So let's check here again. It does say reader. However, it's deprecated. So we need deprecated re-export image reader as reader. Let's go ahead and see where this is living. I guess it's image. Did they have it here? Okay, so we do have that one. And what do we do with it? We say open. and the path is assets valve.png, and this, if I'm not mistaken, is some kind of result. So let's say if it's okay, we're going to print, or rather, let's actually change the UI. So let's say, well, okay, let's do the following. Let's say self image is, okay, let's match on X, and let's say if it's an okay of something, then self.image is equal to some image, and otherwise self.image is none. So I feel like it might be okay, but this is actually an image reader. Right, so that's a bit annoying. So actually you cannot do this. You need to say, let's try to make a reader. Okay, so this is a reader. And then we can say, let's try to actually read this, or is it decode? It's decode. And this thing, so if, well, wait a second. So this is an image result. We can say if okay, image is image. Or is it if let okay? Then we do this kind of unpacking. Here, actually, we don't really need to, well, okay, fine. So that's good. And then out here, we can say, okay, if self.image is sum, we're going to put a label that says an image is loaded. Otherwise, we're going to put a label that says no image is loaded. So that was a lot of code. Let's see if it actually works. So now it says no image is loaded. If I click the load button, it says an image is loaded. So we were able to successfully load it. Let's make a little bit of a helper function that will load an image. For now, it doesn't really take anything. We're just gonna say it's an option of a dynamic image, and it will do basically this stuff. So kind of really want it to be a result, I think. So let's say reader, and I wish I could do this, but you cannot really do that. Map or, okay, let's not, so what is and then? Okay, I'm gonna chain it. Can I do this okay, or can I say okay? So that turns it into an option. Can I then do this? I'm sure that that works. So now we know the reader is okay if we get to here. So we can just say image is reader decode, but actually that's also a result. So we can maybe turn that into an okay. And then finally, we just return the image. Does that even work? Right, so it has to be some. And okay, so that works. So here we can just say if, well, maybe we can just say self.image equals load image. So that's a lot simpler. And we try it again. And it takes a bit to compile. So no image is loaded. We click and image is loaded. Amazing. I wonder if we can change some text size here. So we do have a possibility. It says something about, it was in the example, there was like this one. large text, that's what I want. So we can say font ID. Does that require something? Like, am I missing something? I don't know. Let's just try. So proportional and 40. Why not? So it is complaining about this. And why don't we go back here again? So we should be able to say, so okay, I see what the problem is. The reason it doesn't work is because we need to say rich text. Where is that coming from? Another good question. Rich text is from egui maybe. Use rich text. So we can do that. And so we get the rich no method name. Let's try to get it to reload. We also need font ID, I suppose. And that does it. Okay. So now we can say an image is loaded. Try to run that. No image is loaded, small text, and image is loaded, large text. Amazing. Probably also want here to say no image is loaded. All right, so that gives us an image. Now we would like to display it. So let's see what they do over here. So create this color image that I found is something that you use to display images, and this is basically you want to create a color image. This is usually what you want to use after having loaded an image file, and then they have an example using using this image grid. Sorry, complete brain fart. And where did I jump to now? Let's search for color image. So I missed it. We have that now. And I kind of want to go. So where is this? It's in Creates ePaint. Creates ePaint, source and image. Okay, because now I can do this and put that code somewhere here. So we have it to refer to. So we basically also want a color image, and that is a color image, but where is it from? Where is it from? I suppose we need ePaint. Is that in egui, ePaint? Seems to be in ePaint, and we can get the color image from that. Okay, so now we have the color image, and basically let's also let's do that somewhere else. Let's make a function here that says load color image. It takes a mutable reference to self, and what it's going to do is something like this. So first we need the size, and if let some image image equals self.image. We're going to do all this stuff. Otherwise, it will just do nothing, which is maybe not so nice, but whatever. So we're saying get the size, turn it into a buffer, get flat samples. I don't know what that does, but that's fine. And then we turn it into a color image. So here I'm going to say, keep the okay. So let's say color image equals sum. And we can do this is fine. All right. Maybe I want to do actually, okay, if you try to load the color image, but there is no image, then we should set the color image to none. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because now when we load the image, we are also going to say self.load color image. Okay, so now we have the color image, but what are we going to actually do with that? So let's go back here. And I think we can say UI image. Let's try that. So if we actually have an image, color image, why can I not say color image? Color image. Ah, it's because it's not here. So let's call it as C image is equal to self.color image. Then actually want to draw it. So we have here the image, and I don't think this is going to work, but I am happy to just try it. Okay, it does not work. So that doesn't work because we need some kind of texture. So can we say load texture? And if let's color image equals self.color image, we do something. Otherwise, we're probably going to do something else. Let's mark it as to do. Okay, so here we have the color image. And is there something where we can say to texture? Doesn't look like it. Okay, but let's try to investigate the source code here. So we need something that can be turned into an image source. And I feel like so yeah, okay, image source can be also a sized texture, can be a texture. And maybe we also want bytes. Bytes could also be a possibility. Load the image from some raw bytes. Well, don't think that's it actually. So let's try to create a sized texture. And how do we create a sized texture? We need a texture loader. Okay, so here we go. Texture loader uploads a color image, turning a size texture. So that's basically what we want. And there's something called context.load texture. So if we go back to the main file, here we should be able to say, we actually need a context. Okay, so we need to borrow the context for a little bit. And it is an egui context. Okay, so the context can load a texture. And try load image. Unfortunately, it takes something that is. Okay, let me see here. So name an image. Okay, so we can just call this my image texture. And it's going to take this image. And we also need options. So what are texture options? I cannot really jump to that right now. So let's say let options equal texture options, which we need to include texture options. We do have it. Texture options. Does it have default? It does seem to have default. So let's just put the defaults in for now. And this one we can just borrow. And this one actually needs to own it. Can that really be? Can we say into? Can we clone it? Seems a little bit crazy, but okay, we clone it for now. Clone it. All right, so does this return anything? It does return a texture handle. So let's actually keep that. So it's a texture handle, which is again an option, and we probably need to also just, for our sanity, texture handle, import that here, so we can say texture handle. And just for symmetry, let's also import that, because then we don't need to qualify it here. All right, so if we get a texture handle, we can just say self.textureHandle equals some kind of texture handle. Otherwise, the texture handle is just none. And honestly, let's just do self here is, well, whatever, that's right now. Let's keep it. And I kind of want to do this a few times. Just gonna do some copy and pasting here. So let's replace this with color image. And let's replace this with texture handle. And here we'll say load texture. We'll see how much of that actually works. And we, of course, we also need to just get the context here. And this stuff was incomplete. So let's try to run that. Nothing is loaded. We click load and they all get loaded. So that's amazing. So now let's see if we can actually let some texture equals self.texture handle. Let's see if we can actually make the image appear like that. And here we borrow, or maybe just here we borrow. That's better. All right, great. So we have the image. It's kind of like deciding itself what size it wants to be, which is fine, but this we like to control it. Let's make the screen a little bit bigger. Can we say size? We cannot. What did we have in the example here? So they just say image, and that is it. But we do have a lot of stuff here. We have, they also had rounded? No, didn't they have rounded? Okay, that's something to do to the image itself. They have on hover text a pointer. We have that. On hover, we also have that. But for some reason, draw rectangle, resize, I don't know. There's nothing here where we can say that it should be a specific size. So can we now go to the examples? Because I think there was something in there. Let me see here. So I think it's allocate exact size, something like that. And allocate exact size. And that also gets us a painter, and we can kind of paint into a rectangle. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but we can say it was rectangle and response. So let's say your UI.allocate exact size. So let's say that I want it to be a size of like 300, and I just want to sense, can I sense nothing? Is that possible? So we have the sense here. Kind of weird that it has to sense something, but anyway, let's sense, just click. Okay, so complaining. Something is, it's this one. Okay. And this is small lowercase click. And somehow that's also wrong. That is also wrong. Why is that wrong? Egui is in, okay, I have to call it. It's kind of weird. It's because it's taking me, okay, see now what the problem is. Okay, so we have to call it because there's a function that returns something. Okay, so now we have a rectangle, we have a response. Let's not worry about what that is. Can we now say, is there anything else in the image? No, but we do have a painter. And can this one does have an image as well. And it also has texture, ID and stuff. Okay, let me just copy this actually. So good, and come. So we need the text ID. Do we have that? Does this one have like an ID? It does have an ID. Why not do it in this rect? And we want a rect that is going from 0 to 1. So I think we want this function. So let uv rect is going to be so much like crap going on all the time in the screen. So here we go. Okay, and we want a position which is a something 0, and another position is also just 1, and we put that guy in here, and the tint from RGB, let's make it white. And will that actually produce an image? Who knows? And this one wants U8, probably means it has to be 255. Let's try that. So again, no image. When we load the image, we get it here. It looks kind of squished, but I think it has the right size. But that's kind of interesting. So let's see how big the image actually is. So it's not square. So it's correct that it's a little bit squished. That means that what we're doing here actually works. I mean, obviously, this is like the simple way to do it. And here's if we really want to control things, I guess. It is a bit weird that you cannot really control anything. So context, no. Yeah, it does really doesn't look like there's much. Can we say like with size? Well, that returns a size. What else? Size to back by size. And is there anything else here? Here we can. This will do nothing unless you install some museloaders first. Okay, whatever. Okay, maybe there is a way to do it, I just don't know. But for now, at least we have a way to control exactly where the image is drawn. So here you can see like in its real size, and there's nothing like scale, no. Okay. But with this, we can control everything. And you can see now it's going to be very small and a little bit squished. So what we can do is actually we can say let self dot image dot right. So this is wait, what am I doing here? So I want the size. So self dot image. I'm a little bit tired, and we kind of like we should not have a texture if we don't have an image, but we don't really have any guarantee like right now, but let's just assume it's the case. So size, we can get the width. Is that a method or just return something? So let's do that, and let's get the height. So it was a method. Okay. So now we have that kind of stuff. What's happening? So this takes a reference and unwrap. Do I have to say as ref and then unwrap? Okay. Or can I just do ampersand here? Okay, so let's say as ref unwrap. Okay, so now we have this, and let's say we want a scale. We want to scale it to like 1/2 the size. Then the kind of like scaled size needs to be a vector, and it needs to get the x first. So that's going to be width times scale and height times scale. And now this doesn't work because these are U38s. I think I'll just convert them up here. And then we use that scale here, scale size. So now I should get like more or less half of the original size. So let's see if that works. And that looks more or less correct. And we can even do it all again. Like this. Let me get rid of this. It's a bit annoying. Let's just for fun do it 2 times, but this one is like scaled to the regular size, the original size. And now you can see it's like exactly. Okay, I'm gonna stop here for now. As you can see, it's well, let's actually do one more thing. So this code is running like in the update loop. That's how immediate mode works. So it's actually doing these calculations all the time. Of course, for example, we're only loading the texture to the GPU once, right? And doing this kind of stuff, it's not like moving the data back and forth, I'm pretty sure. But something like this we can control. So we can say like, let's add a slider, I think it's called. No, it's not. Let's go here and let's search for slider. That's not it. Search for slider. Also not it. I was sure there was a slider. So where's the button located? So do we have slider? We don't have slider. I was so sure there was a kind of slider. Vertical centered. Just randomly looking around now at this point. Okay, let's check over here in the actual examples folder. Does that have a slider? Now it says slider. Okay, I have to do something like this. Let me try again. Okay, we do have to do like egui UI add slider. Okay, so let's try that. So UI add egui slider. There we go. Let's make a new one. And let's say it goes from 1 to 10. And maybe let's try like this. Was that correct? We need something that is controlling. So let's go and add that to the application. It's going to be the scale. And oh, that did something wrong. Yes, that's the scale. And it's going to be a beautiful reference to the scale. And what's the complaint here? Expected. So it cannot automatically include, convert, sorry, the range of float to a range of. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Can I do into? No. But I can map it. Can I do this? So I have to iterate it. What does this one need again? Let's see. It needs a range inclusive, which is what, maybe to understand the library, I don't know. But how do I make a range of floats? Okay, I don't know. Let me actually just go. Okay, I kind of figured it out. So it wants a range inclusive. That was the only problem. So I just make it inclusive and then it works. So I think I'm a bit tired now. So anyway, the point was we can now dynamically control the scale. Okay, so we have this one. Let's first load the image, and it's set to 0 to begin with, which is a bit annoying. But now we can, we can dynamically scale it, which is pretty cool. And I think that's going to do it for this video. It's just a simple start. And there's a lot of more things we can add. For example, it would be nice if we could zoom, not just like scale it up, but actually like keep it where it is and zoom in and out and move the image around, and also do this subbuild operator that I was talking about. But we'll do that in the next video. So until then, bye bye.